Padres cooking now. They've won 4 straight behind Ryan Bergert and Elias Diaz. And Manny Machado, his 20th home run. Padres cruise that big crooked 7th inning, a 5-run 7th. They have scored 7 or more runs in 6 of their last 12 games. Maybe subtract bats. The offense has gotten too good. We're 41 hours away from the trade deadline, so we'll react to a win, a 4th straight for the Padres after losing 4 straight. They're now 10 games over 500, in good position when it comes to their playoff standing, with ground still to be gained as well. But again, the Padres win at their 59-49. The Mets have lost 2 straight after winning 7 consecutive games. Juan Soto left this game after fouling a ball off his foot. So let's react to it all. Make your way in. Padres, again, win it. So subscribe. All right. We are going to get to 8,900 subscribers tonight with your help. So let's start there. We're 25 subscribers away. Please subscribe to this channel. If you're here right now live, if you are here watching this on replay, please subscribe to this channel. Smash the like button for us. That helps with the algorithm. Follow us at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We really do appreciate your super chats. We'll get to all of them here tonight. A lot of reaction to this win and what's to come here for AJ Preller. Click the $ below the chat box. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button down below. Padres have come home and they've continued their good play after finishing that series in St. Louis with 2 wins. Today, there's a lot of stories within the story, Jim. I thought Jeremiah Estrada coming in with the bases loaded, nobody out, was a big part of this game. Jackson Merrill's bounding ball down the right field line over Pete Alonso's head felt like 2024 to me. Diaz having this clutch gene in the recent weeks has been an interesting thing to watch unfold, in Manny Machado scorching hot, and the Padres win at 7-1.
They're the greatest team ever. Parade route's on Market, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
We'll see you at the parade.
Sure. See you at the parade.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Have a good one. They're playing a brand of baseball over the last 4 games that really reminds you of the start of the season when they were scorching red hot to start the year, and then, of course, the second half of 2024. This is who the Padres want to be. They're not going to score 7 runs every game, but they've scored 7 runs in back-to-back games, actually in back-to-back-to-back games, because they scored 9 runs on Sunday. So they've averaged 8.5 runs the last 3 games. That, if my math is correct, it's probably
how many
not.
runs did they score yesterday? Let me do the math. How many runs did they score yesterday?
7.
You can't go to score 7, 7, and 9 and average 8.5. It's 23 divided by 3, which is 7.67. You idiot.
I was close. And never make me
Carry
do math. They are playing a brand of baseball that, like I said, we saw at the start of the season and that we saw in the second half last year. And all we're asking for is consistency, not 7 runs a game, but be consistent offensively. And man, it feels like they're catching another hot stretch. And what did we say? All they really need is one more hot stretch in the rest of the season. Go 500 the rest of the way, and you're golden, pony boy. And you look at the standings right now, yes, you want to win the division, but Dodgers have done you, have given you some help here in the last couple of days by beating the Reds. Reds are now 3 games back of you for the final wild card spot. The Giants season is, to me, over. They're not. They're done. And we just saw the Cardinals this past weekend. Do we think the Cardinals are going to go out and make some crazy moves and get red hot in the second half of the season? My guess would be no. So with all that being said, you might be looking at one team you're competing with, and that one team that you're competing with, I don't really feel that confident with unless they make some big trades and whatnot. I mean, they are sitting in such a good position. I would say better than last year, even though they held the 4th or the 5th spot in the wild card race last year at this time. But I mean, their records are damn near identical leading up to the trade deadline. Even if they lose tomorrow, they're 59-50. They're 59-51 at the trade deadline last year.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. They're really well positioned. To your point, you're competing maybe with yourself. It's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you just got to play decently, and you assume that they're going to bolster. The Giants have the worst record in Major League Baseball since getting Devers. I mean, that's amazing.
They're done.
The Reds, while they may try to upgrade and be a challenger, there would be serious question marks about the Reds hanging in it with the Padres over the course of the final 54 games of the year. And here's the thing with where the Padres sit. Yes, they could be caught from behind by a team like Cincinnati, but they can catch teams in front of them. You brought up the point yesterday that the separation, I'm not talking specifically about the Dodgers, I'm talking about the National League. I mean, the separation between themselves and other teams in the National League, specifically the Mets right now, is not significant. So they might be, I don't know if they're going 14-3 here or not, but they're 4-0 in their last 4 games. I mean, they might be a 10-4 stretch, and they're 4-0 right now, or an 11-4 stretch away from not being in that number 6 spot in the overall National League playoff scenarios. So I think they're well positioned. I think they have some things working to their advantage, one of which is Michael King. Now, it remains to be seen, Michael King, but I mean, they're really hurrying this timeline. This isn't the slow play Yu Darvish that we saw play out for months. That's not what's happening right now with Michael King. Rehab this weekend, hopefully healthy, maybe appears in the major leagues. And the other thing working to their advantage is their general manager, probably, in AJ Preller. I mean, he's aggressive. They likely are adding.
Aggressive's an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, as aggressive as they come. I don't know if I love the creative word. That's played out a lot. I don't know if I really want to tinker with my major league roster. Truthfully, in terms of selling off to add, I can be convinced. It's just, it feels like they're playing well enough that just add. I don't know if I want to take away. I want to add. And I feel pretty confident if they do make the right additions heading into the final 50 games of the year.
I'm getting close to like this is what they have to do, because the last couple of days you're like, they could do this, they could do this, they could do that. If they win tomorrow and they sweep the Mets, they're 60-49, 11 games above 500. They've just won 5 in a row. If they win tomorrow,
right?
Not only am I hedging, but what I mean is keeping Cease and keeping Suarez and keeping Jake and keeping Arise. I'm banging on John Seidler's door and saying, you need to give me more money. Like, you need to give me more money. This is an opportunity that we don't want to let pass by. Last year's team, had probably the best chance since 98, and they choked. We don't get back-to-back great opportunities very often in this franchise's history. So I need more money because I'm going to go out and I'm going to get bats to add. I'm going to go get pieces to add to this roster. I'm not going to subtract. I'm not going to subtract to then add because we have to stay under a certain number of the luxury tax. Fuck that. We're going all in. Give me more money.
So that's what you're doing tonight or tomorrow morning?
Well, I think I'm doing it right now, but like even
how much
more so
money
if they
does
win
he
tomorrow.
Need? How much more money does he need is my question.
That's the thing. I don't know. I have no idea. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows.
But my point is, like, can't you make upgrades with a limited budget here? Like, the only player that's like arm and a leg, correct me if I'm wrong, is Luis Robert right now. And that's really for 2026. And you got money coming off the books. I guess Jaron Duran would cost a lot next year when he's arbitration eligible, which he's not right now. I'm trying to think, who are the players that are going to increase this salary so significantly? I think, I don't know what a contract looks like, but I think the point is that there's enough players out there that go find a guy making $3, $4, $5, $6 million a year. You're only acquiring him for a third of this season, and then you worry about 2026. In 2026, I get your point. I don't want to be held back monetarily if I'm AJ Preller right now. But then again, it's not a blank check. I mean, let's be honest, dude.
No, I'm not saying that.
You're not getting the blank check.
I'm not saying, hey, can we go past the third luxury tax threshold here of 281 million? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when I'm imitating AJ Preller, asking John Seidler for more money, is I'm asking John to allow me to go out and add pieces. I'm not going to go crazy here, but allow me to go add pieces without having to subtract anywhere.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
Without telling me, hey, you got a budget and you got to keep it here. Like, no, I need to go out and add to this team, John. Like, I need to make sure that the team we have stays intact and I'm adding to it. Because the last thing you want to do is mess things up.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I mean, Mike Farron made that point. I think Mike Farron is such a good analyst when it comes to baseball. We had him on John and Jim. He does MLB Network Radio. He's just so acutely aware of all 30 clubs. And not that anyone's always right about this stuff, and that there's a subjective element, but he's like, man, you're risking something by taking away any significant piece from a major league roster when you're a contender, to the point that it's not often done. And when it is done, it can backfire. And you also risk that acclimation period, which is like, hey, like 3 players out and 5 players in.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes you a period of time to get I don't know, pointed in the right direction, so to speak. It's like, again, I understand the argument to move Dylan Cease. I'm now in your camp. I think it's more likely than not he moves. I do believe that. I think the smoke fire theory holds true. You're getting sourced reporting from national outlets like The Athletic. Ken Rosenthal's very good. He's not perfect, but he's not writing it just to write it.
He's also very short. I mean,
he's also very short. But I think that there's absolutely a distinct possibility that Dylan Cease has moved. I'm still just wondering, can you reach all your hopes and dreams and wishes with this roster without doing it? And I know what everyone's thinking. He's got a 4.79 Jim or John. I'm John. It's addition by subtraction, right? Why do we need him? He can be backfilled with whomever, Charlie Morton or someone from your system. I'm just telling you, Dylan Cease, who's finished twice in the top 5 in Cy Young voting, there's reasons to believe his final 2 months will be better than his first 4 months. He has value. I believe that. I know some people are teetering on that. I'm just saying that you're going to move him just to free up the money. That, to me, is not a reason to move Dylan Cease.
And with the way that the top of your lineup is now performing, we've said this all year long. It's not about the catching position. By the way, Elias Diaz, another big hit tonight. It's not about who the left fielder Bryce Johnson is, who went 0-for-4 tonight. Like, it's about, are the main guys in the lineup going to produce? Because if they produce, you're going to be in a good spot. Like the beginning of this year, what happened? Top 4 in your lineup, or, not all 4 of them, but you had at least 3 of your top 5 guys in the lineup producing. Merrill was smoking red hot. Manny started off the year as consistent as could be. Tatis shot out of a cannon, and they started 14-3. And then 2 of those 3 players went ice cold for 2 months. And look what happened. They struggled to score runs. Now, Manny's red hot right now. Jackson Merrill had a great game tonight. Luis Arraez hitting .293 on the year. He has a chance at another batting title. Fernando Tatis Jr., we're still waiting for oh my God, he hits 8 home runs in a month for him. But he's staying consistent. He's not going into these huge slumps here. And then Xander Bogaerts has been doing what Xander Bogaerts has been doing over the last month and a half. And they are now scoring more runs consistently since the start of the second half. And that's without adding another bat. That's without changing your catcher. That's without adding a piece to your bench and replacing Trenton Brooks. Yeah,
you still got to, that's 100% accurate. You still got to add, because you need the long-term viability. And we've seen here's the thing. Both things are true. You're 4-0 in the last 4 games. You're 45-46 since 14-3. Both of those statements are factually accurate. You cannot argue them. They're 4-0 in their last 4 games. It feels like 2024. Petco's rocking. They've played exceptionally well for 4 days. Exceptionally well. You can't play better than 4-0. And they're scoring. And the pitching's been good enough. But they're 45-46 since 14-3. So both tell you something, and I don't know what they're telling me. One is, okay, let's bet on the now. They're going to do what they did last year. They're taking off right now, right? Or you take that longer view and you say, they've been a 500 team for 91 games. I mean, 91 out of 162 is a significant portion of a season. So I'm adding to this lineup. He has no other options, because you can't risk it. Because if you just stay status quo and it doesn't work out perfectly, everyone's going to second guess you and be like, dude, what the hell were you thinking? It was right in front of your face. This offense wasn't good enough. So if it was me and I was in charge, and there's a reason I'm not, I'm adding without subtracting. That's my first primary goal. If I can't do that, I figure out where I have to subtract to add. But my first goal would be to make additions without subtracting. And I don't think that's a popular opinion here, truthfully. I think people want movement. I think in San Diego, where there's so much movement, and Preller's such a rock star, he really is, and baseball is front and center more than other markets where NFL is now being discussed. Like, people want the movement, especially with a GM like AJ Preller. I'm just telling you, stay the course a little bit, man. They were there in 2024. They might be there again in 2025. I don't think you need to go acquire freaking Juan Soto to change the fortunes of your season.
I'm just looking here to see the last time this year the Padres scored 7 or more runs in 3 consecutive games.
They haven't done it this year. It's been over a year.
Okay, so there you go. They haven't done it.
It was
Doesn't
last
it
year.
feel? I know it's only 3 games, and well, it's really 4 games getting back to Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then Friday they scored 7 runs as well.
Yeah.
So they scored 7 or more runs in 4 of the last 5 games. So that's pretty good.
It really is.
Doesn't it feel? And we were very like I don't know if they can replicate what they did last year. And I still don't think that a 43-19 stretch is in the cards here, because that shit's like lightning in a bottle stuff, right?
Agreed.
But that being said, doesn't it feel, after watching this team the last 4 days, that they are about to potentially make another maybe mini run here?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
They
face after this series, you got St. Louis up next, followed by Arizona. Right? Arizona,
two
white
sellers.
flag. They're
Two
done.
sellers.
They're white flag. St. Louis, is anybody really scared of the Cardinals right now? No,
they're going to sell off. I mean, they can't. You look at the standings. I mean, what path do they have to the postseason?
So if you win like 5 of your next 7 games, because that's how many
9-2.
You're 9-2 in your last 11. That's a run, and that's the run we've been waiting for this team. That's a mini run.
Got to go do it.
Got to go do it. But it's in front of them, and I think that we potentially are watching the start of hopefully another run with this team this year. And really all they need is just one more run, because they get that one more run and you feel good, man. Like,
they might not even need another run. This might be the run that they needed.
Right.
I mean,
in 4 in a row. Like, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think that it's a run, and I don't even know if it's the start of the run, because like you said, it's a mini run. You go 7-1 over an 8-game stretch, which is 3-1 in your next 4. You've positioned yourself pretty well into the final 50 games of the year. Let's get to some of the super chats, guys. Over 500 of you are here live. Trade deadline is 41 hours away. We'll be here for you. Subscribe to this channel. We're 19 subscribers away from 8,900. We wanted to get to 9,000 by the end of the deadline. We need your help to get there. Also, we appreciate your longtime support of this channel and the super chats like this first one of the night from Patrick Spinelli. If you want to support and contribute, and if you want to see your comment on screen, click the $ below the chat box. We'll get to every single super chat here tonight. And Patrick starts us off by saying, great win versus a great team. Playoff feel last 2 nights. You two knuckleheads do a great show. That's very kind of you to say, Patrick. Mets were playing great baseball
7 in a row
coming in, but it's amazing how things work in this sport. And let's see if they can finish this off. I will say it's Yu Darvish tomorrow. And Darvish has something to prove to himself and the Padres and this fan base tomorrow afternoon. If he pitches well, wow, you feel even better about where the Padres stand. If he pitches poorly, some of the questions that have remained or have continued over the course of these middle months of the year, those questions will persist if Yu Darvish goes out there tomorrow and lasts 3 2/3 innings and allows 5 runs.
Dude, if Yu Darvish pitches well tomorrow, like, where do you want to sit for the World Series?
I want to sit. I just want to sit in the stadium that is in San Diego, and the World Series being played in the city for the first time in 27 years. That's where I want to sit.
Perfect. Love it. Sign me up. Tomorrow could make everybody feel so confident with this team heading into the stretch run here if Yu Darvish pitches well and they finish off this sweep. Like, I don't want to say the difference between a win and a loss is like, a lot, but I think the feeling that everybody would have, every Padres fan would have if they won tomorrow compared to if they lost is like night and day. If they win tomorrow and Yu Darvish pitches well, bro, you know what I mean? If they lose tomorrow, it'll be like, okay, took 2 or 3, and that's exactly what they needed to do. Exactly what I said they needed to do. Go 5-5 on the road trip. Go 2-3 against the Mets, and you're 9 games up heading into the trade deadline, and you feel really good about yourself. But shit, if they win tomorrow, they win 5 in a row. They're 60-49, and Yu Darvish pitches well. Yeah, bro. Where's the parade at again? Market Street. Perfect. Let's go camp out right now.
No matter what happens. No matter what happens, you have to have the long view. That's the thing with Preller, man. It's like they could win like this heading into the deadline. I don't think it changes the overall thinking. I just don't. I mean, truthfully, they were 5-5 on the road trip. I mean, they're 7-5 in their last 12 games. So it's not like anything has drastically changed, but they are pulling away a little bit here from
10-6 in their last 16.
Say that again?
They're 10-6 in their last 16, dating back to before the All-Star break.
Yeah, and they were right 6-4, 5-5, 2-0. Yeah, I mean they've played better as of recent, obviously, and they've won 4 consecutive games. Dave, thank you, man, for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. Please subscribe and thank you for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. He says, when the Giants come back to Petco in August, does Bomel look longingly across the field at our dugout and dream about having that job? If you know, you know. Yeah, of course, he kind of infamously in San Diego said he had dreamed of managing in the Giants dugout at Oracle, not necessarily the Padres, or that was the inference. Listen, the Giants are cooked, obviously, for the year. Bob Melvin has received an extension. They might be set up relatively well long-term. They're certainly not short-term here in 2025. But we talked about August, like, Giants, Dodgers, these are good teams. Dodgers are a good team. That's inarguable. But the Giants have not played well. I told you earlier that they've got the worst record, I think, since they got Devers, 14-25, since they acquired Rafi Devers. So those are going to be series you're going to want to capitalize on because it appears as if the Giants are a wounded animal right now.
And they are very close to overtaking the Giants for total runs scored for the season. They've scored 440. Giants have scored 442. So for a while, it's like, man, the Giants, dude, they can't score runs if their life depended on it. But somehow they've scored more runs this year than the Padres. And we watch the Padres every single day.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
We beat Bolton Up for Life 760. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says, what 3 players, like actual names, actually attainable, make this team World Series contenders? Who you think can beat the top dogs in the National League in the postseason? Thank you for entertaining us, boys. You guys are a lot better than Hog. Well, there's no criticism of Hog on this channel.
No, not on this channel.
We're the safe space with Hog, all right? Here on the
Pro
wrap-up show. I will say that I can't, nobody can tell you the 3 players that make the Padres win the World Series, but I will give you names that Mike Farron shared with us today on John and Jim that he said would be good fits for the San Diego Padres. He mentioned 3 outfielders, Ramon Laureano, Ryan O'Hearn, Mike Tauchman of the White Sox. He also mentioned a reliever with the Marlins has had a terrific year, Anthony Bender, possibly if the Padres need to backfill or bolster their bullpen. But I mean, how could you even say, I love the super because I love honing in on names, but Jim, can we even say if you get the, pie in the sky players, Jarren Duran, Sandy Alcantara, Sean Murphy, not happening. But even if they acquire those 3 players, there's no guarantees on anything. We've all watched the sport so long. I mean, you'd feel so confident with huge additions, but I don't think it boils down to something as simple as just go acquire these 2 or 3 players and you're in the World Series.
I'll give you 3 players that are actually attainable. Anthony Bender of the Marlins. He's a relief pitcher. He's got a 1.83 ERA this year and 44 and a third innings pitch. He's a right-hander from my hometown, Santa Rosa, California.
That's right.
He's got a .97 whip this year and 45 appearances. There's one. Number 2, Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles. He was an all-star this year, right-handed bat. Right-handed bat, right? I think I'm pretty confident with that.
O'Hearn?
Yeah, because isn't no, wait, he's a lefty. Because Laureano's a righty, right?
I don't know. Laureano's a righty and O'Hearn's a lefty.
Okay, give me Ramon Laureano then. I'm looking for a righty.
Yeah, that's what
right?
I said earlier today among the 3 outfield options because he's a righty.
So you get Anthony Bender, Ramon Laureano of the Orioles, who's had a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want a big move? F it. Go get Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah, he pitched really well again tonight. 5 shutout innings.
Yeah. Those are my 3 moves. There you go. Only 1 bat, but 2 arms.
Yeah, I like the strategy. It kind of leans into who they are, which is, I mean, go win with pitching. You'll take the 7 runs of offense, but go win with pitching. Every so often, man, thank you for the super chat, guys. 560 of you are here live right now. Subscribe. We are 18 subscribers away from 8,900. Please subscribe. Let's be here together tonight when we hit 8,900, and hopefully later on this week when the trade deadline hits, we'll get to 9,000. So please subscribe, and thank you for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. He says, John Jay saving the season with Manny motivation. I mean, they were in the midst of a 4-game losing streak when that played out. The game was not over. They had not won. It was like 2-1, right? They had lost 4 consecutive games. They're in like a 2-1 or 3-1 game. Machado gets hit for a second time. Things are going south in general for the Padres. And then that tit for tat back and forth, former friends turned like bitter enemies, and they're 4-0 since, and they get St. Louis again coming up. And if you can win that series, then you're, yes, absolutely taking advantage of the Cardinals. Who knows whether it's a coincidence or not, but it's played out that since that moment, they've been really good.
Well, finally, something that like they took as a slight that they used to propel them into playing good baseball actually happened this year. Because last year it was like if you effed with the Padres, man, were they going to they took it and they bottled it up and they used it and they won a bunch of baseball games. It's like, oh, you think I'm overrated? Well, watch this. Oh, you guys think that me celebrating's bad? Watch this. They did a bunch last year. Oh, the sinister sling, watch this. Then we know what happened in 4 and 5. But you get my point, right?
Right.
And who knows? Maybe it was the benches clearing in St. Louis and John Jay saying something to Manny and Manny told him to F off. And I don't know. Maybe. But if they do end up having a great second half, then that is the turning point of the season, right?
It could prove to be. It could be all these, I don't know, offensive outbursts. The 7. I don't know what it single-handedly would be, but we'll know at the end of the year, depending on what direction it goes. Sanchez, thank you for the super chat. He says, good start to the homestand. Keep the momentum. I mean, a terrific start, obviously, to the homestand, and they will finally get an off day in here on Thursday, which is the deadline day. They'll play tomorrow afternoon. By the way, join us immediately after that game. We'll be on the radio, John and Jim. We'll hear from Mike Schilt. We'll react, plus everything going on with the trade deadline. At that point, it'll be inside 24 hours. But, what's the Padres record now at home, Jim? It's something really good. 32-18, 33-18.
I think 33-18 because they were 31-18 coming home on Monday, and they won 2 in a row. So that would be 33-18, right?
I mean, you're getting to the point where
33-18.
Yeah, they don't play often better than that. That's a pretty darn good home record. A winning clip that isn't 667 but is over 600. So like they're playing well at home. As you start winning, you start thinking about the scenarios and you look ahead and, if you can secure home playoff games as opposed to road playoff games, like all these things are going to be in front of this team. And right now it's take care of business. And I am with you in terms of what they have coming up. This idea that you're getting St. Louis and Arizona post-deadline where both teams may be sellers and you're getting them in the immediate aftermath where it hasn't fully sunk in. That's who you are. Like those teams can play fine in September. There's always a team that's sold off that's like amazing in September because they're just a bunch of randos with no weight or expectations and they just
100%.
spoil people's seasons. But immediately after the deadline, it's the dog days and the bitter reality sets in. You're on a team that's not going to the postseason and our team looks different today than they looked yesterday. And our closer ain't there. And either is our 3-hole hitter. That's tough. When Eugenio Suarez walks out that clubhouse door for a final time, that's not an ideal scenario to be on that team. And that's what's going to play out in all likelihood with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Same thing with the St. Louis Cardinals. I want to play those teams after those moments. I really do. And I hope the Padres capitalize on that.
Yeah, in baseball, it's not about sometimes it's not about who you play, it's about when you play them.
Yep.
And so you come into this series and you're like, shit, not a good time to face the Mets. They've won 7 in a row. And then you play them, and the Mets look like a team that is a 500 baseball team the last 2 nights. And you take this series. The Padres against winning teams this year, 24 and 34.
They're like over 500 all of a sudden.
But, yeah, close. But when you look at their record against winning teams in the last month here, I'm taking St. Louis out of the equation. I know they split with St. Louis. I'm looking at like teams that are actually good, and that's Philadelphia and New York. And you've won both those series. You couldn't say that about many series the previous 2 months against winning teams.
It's a good point. Really good point. We're going to get back to the conversation, guys. We do want to thank our title sponsor here on the Wrap-Up Show. We couldn't do this without his support. We can't do it without each and every one of you here live and on replay as well. Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. He's been on the channel for 4 years, since day one. Believe it or not, if you have an insurance need, auto, home, renter's life, earthquake, whatever it is, I've got 3 insurance policies through Mark. Auto. No, I don't have auto. Homeowner's life and earthquake insurance. He can be there for you and your family as well. If you ever need him, I had to file a claim in 2022. He took care of everything, saved us so much time and money. Mark's the guy for you. Click the link in the description down below. He's a great insurance agent. I've worked with him for years on end. If you ever need him, he'll be there for you. That's what separates him from other insurance agents. He's a lifelong San Diegan, and a diehard Padres fan, right? Diehard Padres fan.
Right? Yeah.
He is beyond a diehard Padres fan, truthfully. So if you support this channel, please support our title sponsor here of the Wrap-Up Show, Mark Nimitz, by clicking that link in the description down below.
Yeah, all his information is on that ticker, mnimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
Let's get to some of these super chats, guys. Again, if you're here, subscribe. And if you're here, thank you for the supers. Padres over the Mets, 7-1. They'll wrap up this series on Wednesday afternoon. And then the trade deadline is coming within 24 hours of that. Every so often, YT, thank you, man, for the super chat. He says, Bergert, Kolek, Vasquez, Niebla saved the season. It is kind of crazy. I think I texted you at one point. I'm like, it's kind of wild that Kolek and Bergert has equaled way more production than Cease and Darvish, for example. I mean, all the accolades, and that's not to take away from their career successes. I mean, you can't compare the career successes of Bergert and Kolek to Cease and Darvish, but in the here and now, Bergert and Kolek have given the Padres chances to win. Cease, not as much. Darvish, certainly not as much these 4 or 5 times out. And they have needed those guys, and they will need them moving forward. And I ain't touching Ryan Bergert or Stephen Kolek from AJ Preller, and he's smarter than I am, and he's not moving either of those 2 players because they're a part of his long-term future, would be my guess.
Yeah, Ryan Bergert, hold on to him, man. Like,
his stuff is good, man.
Hold on to Bergert. I meant to say Bergie and then it Bergert, and they came out wrong, but
it's fine.
Bergert. Hold on to Bergie. All right. Yeah. Randy Vasquez, the magician that he is this year, there's no rhyme or reason why he's been good, because all of his underlying numbers suck, but the results are all that matters in sports, and his results have been good. Stephen Kolek has been very solid this year. And you're right. Those 3 guys, Bergert, Kolek, Vasquez, I wouldn't say saved the season, but man, they have been a very big part of this season. And if they get to the postseason, which, you feel confident that they have a good shot to get there, those guys won't be starting games most likely. And I guarantee you at the end of the season, you're going to hear Schulte say, we don't get to this point in the postseason without what, guys like Bergie and, Vasquez-y and Kolek-y, what they did in the regular season. Because he said the exact same thing last year about, why am I blanking on his fucking name?
Who, like Martin Perez?
Well, Martin Perez, but also knuckleballer. Give me it.
You're talking about Matt Waldron?
Matt Waldron. God, what? He's just so out of sight, out of mind.
My first time watching baseball.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Jeff West, thank you, man. For the super, he says 8-1 on Tuesday games. They should only play on Tuesday. It'd be unbelievable. Love watching our captain Mash. If you watch this play out, if those of you that are here right now watch that sequence between Machado and that reliever that came in, Machado was so upset with himself that he missed this breaking pitch that was just left right over the heart of the plate, right? Like a breaking pitch without any bite, and he fouled it off. And then 2 pitches later, he got a near identical pitch, and he did not miss. I mean, he absolutely unloaded. He is so locked in. He is hit for power. 20 home runs for Machado. I mean, Jim, he could threaten his Padres career high, which I think is 32 in a season. He's on pace right now for exactly 30, but the way he's playing, I'm not putting it past him to get to that 32-ish threshold. I think that's kind of the way he's performing. You brought up the point today. He leads the National League in hitting in terms of batting average, which is simply incredible. But he is the offense. I mean, he has carried this thing. He is far and away the best offensive player on this team.
He is going to get some MVP votes this year for sure in the National League. I don't think he's going to win it though, because of course it's going to go to Ohtani.
Yep.
But I mean, he has a legitimate chance at a batting title. Like, think about that. That's crazy. He's an all-star. He's going to be an all MLB player at third base this year. He's put up a really solid season, John.
He's absolutely. I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed. Age 33 season, putting it all together like this. I know he's had other great individual seasons, but it just feels like he's put up. Oh, you were toying with me with the great.
Yeah.
I'd say he's been solid, honestly. If you want to talk about someone having a great season, I would talk about Xander Bogaerts. I want to get to the super chat here from Puck is Life, who said, and thank you, man, for the super chat. He says, order of want between Taylor Ward, Stephen Kwan, and Luis Robert Jr. based off of team fit and price to acquire. That is such a fascinating question. Let me rank them like this, and then I want to hear from you. I would say in terms of most certain to work out to least certain to work out, I would go Kwan, Ward, Robert. I think Robert is the highest risk and reward potentially. I think Ward, he kind of has proven to be this guy, more of a slugger, right? He's able to, I don't know what his slugging percentage is, but maybe close to 500. And then Stephen Kwan is just like a proven commodity, like a guy that gets on base consistently, doesn't necessarily hit for power, but I would trust that he is able to remain the most consistent. Luis Robert has not had a consistent year. And Taylor Ward plays for the Angels. And is he really going to hit for power just because he hit for power with the Angels when they were never really in a playoff race? So I would be most certain about Kwan. I'd be less certain about Ward. And I'd be least certain about Luis Robert Jr.
With Luis Robert Jr., you're banking on his recent hot stretch to carry for the rest of the season if you do trade for him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Kwan, the most consistent. He's not going to give you what you truly need, which is pop. But he's gonna give you, a solid left fielder defensively, an upgrade for sure. He's gonna give you kind of what a Luis Rise gives you, right? As far as what you get at the plate from him. With Taylor Ward, another thing that you're banking on with him is he carries over his power numbers from the first half to your team. You're not asking, he's not going to hit 23 home runs in 50 something games, but in 50 something games, can he hit, it's a big number. Can he hit like 10 to 12 for you?
I mean, that's the pace. He's on a pace to like 12 or 13.
Right. Like, can he do that? And can he maybe outperform that? So I think if you're looking for consistency and a player that's under control and is cost effective, good defense in the outfield, you go with Stephen Kwan. But if you're looking for that right-handed power bat that you've been kind of missing, that got like that, not missing this year, but missing. They've been missing a right-handed power bat at the bottom of their lineup or, in the middle. I think Taylor Ward's your guy. Luis Robert Jr., again, you're banking that he continues to stay hot or at least continues to play well with you. And that's no guarantee. So
both of Kwan and Luis Robert Jr. are, I guess, technically not free agents until 2028 because you have a club option on Luis Robert Jr. for 2026 and 2027.
For $20 million. And I don't know if the team would want to do that.
Well, I don't think you acquire him to let him walk. That would really surprise me. But maybe the money. I mean, if he didn't perform, maybe you would let him walk. But I'd be surprised if you acquire. I mean, they're not in the rental market typically. AJ doesn't typically acquire a player for 2 months. So I feel like if you're going to go get a Luis Robert Jr. and you're going to go give up assets to do it, I would think you'd want him for more than just 2 months, because maybe you think that you have a chance to, I don't know, return him to form. I mean, you think about it also with Luis Robert Jr., he's young. He's 27. I would be more inclined to keep him than let him walk, although the dollars potentially could get in the way. But they're all controllable is the point. I mean, if you want to keep Robert Jr., you got him for 2 years. If you want to keep Quan, you have him until 2028. If you want to keep Taylor Ward, he's not a free agent until 2027. But I love the question. I mean, I think that's the thought process that's maybe playing out right now in the Padres, front office or with AJ Preller. Like, who is truly the best fit? There's obviously a lot of puzzle pieces. Which one fits my roster the best? Same thing with Dylan Cease. I mean, we didn't talk about in the wrap-up show. I mean, there's these reports that the Astros are honing in on Cease, that they want to make a real offer for him, that this is the type of player that they are seeking, even though a lot of Padres fans, again, might say good riddance. But again, if you're AJ Preller, it's not about who, it's not about, oh, the Astros want Dylan Cease. It's about who gives me the best return, or who allows me to spin the players I get back for Cease for major league quality players. So we're all fascinated by it, man. We're all fascinated by it. The Cease move, is it going to happen? And then the incoming moves, Robert, Ward, Quan, which one of these moves, if any, are going to happen?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see which route he goes. I think tonight, even though last night in watching Dylan Cease pitch has been just very frustrating, the more you think about it, it's like, if they get to the postseason, you're going to be relying on your bullpen heavily. So you don't have to say, hey, Cease, go out and give us 6 innings. Like, you can give us 4 solid innings and we'll go to the bullpen. And if that doesn't work, then throw an opener out there. Go bullpen game. Have Dylan Cease be a Tim Lincecum type of pitcher in the postseason for you. Like, and then now the way they're playing up into the deadline and seeing how the rest of the National League is playing out, I think I'm on the side of, hey, John Seidler, let Preller cook and don't put the pressure on him because you have to stay under a number to have to trade a guy like Cease or Suarez. That's, I think, where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, I saw this in the chat, like, to follow up on this idea that, like, John Morosi's tweet tonight, I like John Morosi a lot, but I didn't fully understand it. I heard tonight, if the Padres trade a prominent pitcher like Dylan Cease or Robert Suarez, their preference is to acquire a Major League Baseball left fielder and or catcher in return as opposed to prospects. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean,
no shit.
The final product has to be Major League players. There's no way you're hedging this thing along and saying, I need to backfill my system. I'm comfortable doing that by trading away a player like Dylan Cease or Robert Suarez. Like, you got to win now and in the future, but now comes before the future. So you're not trading Dylan Cease just to acquire Houston's prospects. You're not trading Robert Suarez just to acquire the New York Yankees prospects. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
He went on to say, I didn't even see this until right now, of course, the Orioles and White Sox do not have interest in a rental starter like Cease. The Guardians likely would not either. For the Padres to acquire Laureano, Robert Jr., or Stephen Kwan, a third team would need to be involved. Mike Farron went down that path with us today. He's not the first to do it. So I won't be, nor will you, and I think our viewers won't either, because you're hearing this. This could be a really creative Major League Baseball deal. You get it in the NBA, sometimes 3, 4, 5 team trades. I wonder if we're heading down a path where we see like a 3 or 4 team trade in Major League Baseball play out over the next day or so involving the Padres. It's a possibility when you think about what their needs are if you're getting rid of a player like Dylan Cease.
Yeah, it could happen. And AJ is I'm sure figuring out and trying to piece together every scenario possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, man, there's a lot of smoke around Dylan Cease, isn't there?
Tons. Yeah. You tweeted about Tommy Pham tonight.
That is another player that, we know AJ Preller likes a lot. Loves him some Tommy Pham. I didn't realize what Tommy Pham has done this year, John.
Well, hold on. Let me hear.
Oh, you don't know?
Well, I know he's done since June 22nd, and those numbers to me look solid.
Solid. Tommy Pham this year, John, in 245 plate appearances or at bats, excuse me. He's hit 273, 4 home runs, 29 RBIs, and a 722 OPS.
So slightly worse than Xander.
But Xander's having a great year, John.
No, Xander, I agree. And you were about to tell me Tommy Pham is having like a Ruthian year, right?
Well, do you want to know what Tommy Pham's numbers, his splits are last 7, 15, and 30 games?
Yeah, I know what he's done since June 22nd because I saw the tweet. But yeah, let me guess. He's hit like 400 since June 22nd.
Just about. I'm just listening to these numbers. You know, everyone's like, oh man, Xander's been great. Actually, he's been very good. Tommy Pham, in his last 30 games, is hitting 381 with a 1,044 OPS. He also has in that time 4 home runs and 21 RBIs.
So he's bogey light.
No, he's bogey max. He's like better than bogey.
I know. I mean, I've offered my opinions before on Tommy Pham. He's been on winning teams. He got to the World Series with Arizona a couple of years ago. He's old. It didn't look great when he was here. I'm not a fan of Tommy Pham personally. I'm not going to go kick and scream if they acquire him. And we've heard for years that Preller has had an affinity for Tommy Pham, so maybe there could potentially be a fit there. I didn't like him when he was here. He has been on winning teams, and he's played a lot of postseasons. I think with Kansas City last year, Arizona in the World Series in 2023. So I get it. I mean, there's probably reasons to consider something like that. I don't know. I'm not enamored by him. Preller's enamored by Jarren Duran, but is he also enamored by Tommy Pham?
Well, Tommy Pham is a prime trade candidate. My guess is he gets traded on Thursday.
Well, he's definitely getting traded. I mean, he's not staying.
No, 100%.
I mean, he's got a better chance of being moved than Luis Campusano. We do want to remind you guys about our friends over at SeatGeek. They've got a terrific offer going on for you right now. You can take advantage of this offer and get into Petco Park on Wednesday afternoon or this weekend when the Padres remain home and take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Take $20 off your first purchase of $50 or more with our promo code PADSWRAP. That's $20 off your first purchase of $50 or more with the promo code PADSWRAP. That's Pods Wrap. Just click that link in the description down below. Download the app. Have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Do want to thank our friends over at SeatGeek. This is a Wednesday afternoon game, which means you can get in with a pair of tickets and sit in section 131 in the outfield for $41 with fees. You heard me right. And look at this. I mean, let's go down these lines. I mean, you can sit, where is this, sixth row down the first base line extended for $55 including fees. How about this? Like 8th row just off first base for $72 including fees, and take $20 off with the promo code PADSWRAP. So if you're looking for something to do last minute, get inside Petco Park and take advantage of that offer from our friends at SeatGeek.
Yeah, and the great thing about SeatGeek is it's MLB's official ticket marketplace. So your tickets, they're fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. All you got to do is use our promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP, to get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek of your first order. When you're searching for tickets, they have a great rating scale from 1 to 10, so they let you know you're getting a good deal. Make sure you look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. Use our promo code PADSWRAP. PADSWRAP.
It's all happening, man. It's one of the great weeks in the season, I think, for baseball fans and for people like you and I, because it's so monotonous, the season, 162 games. You know, good teams lose 4 out of every 10. You know, bad teams lose 6 out of every 10. You get the point. But this time of year, you got big hopes and dreams, aspirations if you're a contender. And I think the Padres fancy themselves as one. I mean, they're on the right side as we sit here. And if you get in, I can't be convinced that you can't have success if you get in. We've seen it play out. And the Padres have had a level of postseason success their last 3 times in, winning series each and every time, 2020, 2022, and 2024. So I'm all for the hopes and the dreams and the aspirations of the fan base and adding to this team and betting on Manny Machado when he's 33 and Fernando Tatis Jr. to have a big second half. Like, I'm all for it. So I know Preller. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I know that he's not going to settle here. And I think with an aging Machado who's playing as well as he is, this is no time to do anything other than keep feet on pedals. And that's my expectation. Even when we get to Thursday morning and he hasn't done anything, knowing that there were 32 trades last year on deadline day, even if we get to Thursday morning and he's done squat, my expectation remains the same, that he's active and aggressive to upgrade this roster.
Yep. In this roster and how they're playing and how you've seen this team and their strengths and weaknesses, there's definitely weaknesses, but the strengths are pretty strong. And they bode well and play in postseason if you get there. And we both agree that the team as it's constructed right now with no additional moves is a playoff team.
Yeah.
And that's me adding back in Michael King to the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it just even strengthens their playoff chances once they do that. And if he pitches well, and if you Darvish pitches well, yeah, I mean, this team is good enough to make the postseason. And so to subtract from some of parts of your team to add a bat or add Jarren Duran, like, it's a risky play. And I think that I am now on the side of don't do it.
I'm on the side of don't do it, Jim, with you. I think they do it.
I think, unfortunately, they do too.
I don't know if it's a formality. Like, I don't know if it's a guarantee. I think it still takes probably the right suitor or offer. But
teams are going to be going hard after Cease. Exactly. That's the thing, is he's on the market, and he's been on the market. I said this like 3 weeks ago when you were gone. Like, what's the hurt of putting Dylan Cease on the market to see what you could get for him? And if you don't trade him, you don't trade him. But putting his name out there, that does no harm. And what if a team bites? It's like you're fishing, right? Throw the line out, see what bites. And if you like what bites, and you bring it back. But if you don't, no harm, no foul. You keep them, and it might be a situation where you look back and you go, some of the best trades that we didn't make, right? Or some of the best trades we made were the ones that we didn't make, or whatever the saying is. And that's what you do. And that's what they've been doing. And the groundwork has been laid since the offseason with Dylan Cease. His name has been circulated a ton. And AJ Preller, like he always done, has drawn a line in the sand. He doesn't budge. He asks for what he wants, and he's not going to sell low. He's not going to just sell low on a player to get rid of that player. He more often than not gets what he wants back in return. Now, do the pieces that he gets back in return end up being something every single time? No, but for his evaluation and scouting and everything, more often than not, when he makes trades like this, he gets back what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you said. I mean, Mike Farron went down the path that he probably could see Suarez moving before Cease. Dennis Lin today wrote about Cease and Suarez, saying both remain possibilities. Mm-hmm. Farron was more willing to go down the conversation of Robert Suarez because, like Cease, he will walk. He expects to earn more by opting out of that deal. I mean, I'm watching the way Adrian Morejon is pitching right now. I was the one. I have made the argument I am not moving Adrian Morejon, but I don't know right now with the way he's pitching if it matters what inning he is throwing in. He is so good. They put the numbers up tonight. I mean, it's not just good for the Padres or good for the National League. He's among the best relievers in the sport in 2025. Those numbers have only trended up. You mentioned it today. I think he's allowed one run his last 31 innings at this point or something like that, or 31 outings. So, I mean, maybe there's an argument to be made that you could move Adrian Morejon, deeper into your bullpen as a setup guy or as a closer, and maybe you can get rid of Robert Suarez and backfill with someone like Anthony Bender from the Marlins, who's got that sub-2 ERA. Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose Suarez at the end of the year. What role does he play in helping you reach your goals? I get it. He's closed 30-plus games this year. He's had a solid enough year. But, I mean, if you're choosing between Suarez or you're choosing between Cease, I mean, your bullpen's already really strong. Can you afford to give up a starter maybe you can afford to give up a reliever when of the four horsemen, he's the fourth horse. Like, that's me not being complimentary, I think. Like, he's the worst of the four that's in the back end. He's filling maybe the most important role, which is the ninth inning. But I mean, let's be honest, dude. I think I expect him to stay, but Robert Suarez's numbers are they're not great. They're fine. Like, he's been fine. Right. 3.5 ERA, over 1 WHIP for a closer. Like, it's not sexy. It's been effective. But do I think he's replaceable? Yeah, I kind of do, to be honest with you.
I do too, but you still need to replace him.
Yeah, you're right.
And the hardest outs to get in the game are the last 3. So if you take away your closer who has 30-plus saves and leads the league in saves, okay, and you put in Jason Adam in that role, he might do just fine because he has saved games before. He might be even better. But what if he's not? And what if he's kind of like the same as Robert Suarez? Well, then you just got rid of 3+ maybe additional outs that are going to be crucial to get in a postseason game that you get from a guy you trust. And I just think the more good relievers you have, the better, because what you want to do is you want to shorten that game up as much as possible. And when postseason game comes around and you have a lead after the 4th inning, right, and you get into the 5th, and you take out a pitcher, with 1 out in the 5th, and you need to have as many good bullpen arms as possible if you are going to plan to do that. And right now they do, and they can do that. They can shorten games, even with Robert Suarez's struggles and whatnot. I mean, so like I said, even before today, I was like, don't touch the back end, keep the 4, right? Like, keep the 4. I know. Why can't there be a passing bomb during the show? Like, what are we doing?
Well, what did I say today? The second we sign off, within 100%. 5 minutes, Padres will make a trade.
100%.
I'm with you. The argument's a good one. I mean, I'm compelled to keep them as well. I mean, I don't like taking away from the major league roster. It's not like Dylan Cease has been a net negative. It's not like you're being weighed down by Dylan Cease. And your point's valid on Suarez as well. I mean, he's not. I mean, Dylan Cease is a net positive, right? He's got like a 1 WAR. I get it. It's not great. He's pitched better before, including last year, but it's not like he's a negative 1.5 WAR. And you're going to say, well, Johnny's 3-10, but the record doesn't matter. I get it. He has to pitch more effectively. But, I mean, you tell me that Dylan Cease can't help this team get to the postseason. I don't know. I still feel like maybe I'm too trustworthy of Dylan Cease based on some of his track record, but ultimately, someone's moving would be my guess. Cease, Suarez, someone. It's just like that's what everyone's reporting on. So unless everyone's wrong, then someone ultimately on the big league roster is going to move. And that's okay. I'm not going to go rip AJ Preller if Dylan Cease is traded. Far from it. Or if Robert Suarez is traded. His vision has worked effectively enough in recent history. So if they trade Dylan Cease, so be it. That's kind of the expectation from the fan base. Let's see what they do, or who they get in the return if they do trade away Cease or Suarez.
Yeah. Yep.
Good commentary. I'm kidding. All right. Underdog Fantasy is the best and easiest place to play fantasy sports. Make sure to use our promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. We're going to get a 50% deposit match for you if you use that promo code PADSWRAP. 50% deposit match up to $1,000. In addition to that, you're going to get a free gimme pick. What does that look like? It looks like higher or lower than, let's say, a half total point tomorrow for Aaliyah Boston for the Indiana Fever, who I think she plays for, or higher or lower than like a half total plate appearance for Fernando Tatis Jr. But it couldn't be simpler or easier to play and win. You just pick 2 different players, and if you get them right, then you can win. And the more you play, the more pick'ems you play, the more you can win. You can win up to 1,000 times your money in a single night. I'm taking lower on Soto fantasy points. I don't even know if he plays tomorrow, but $10 in this example, for example, you go 3 for 3. $10 pays $171.60. You can flex it, and you can still win money just by getting 2 out of the 3 plays correct. So use the promo code PADSWRAP, play along at Underdog Fantasy, get the 50% deposit match up to $1,000, and take advantage of that free gimme pick as well.
Scan the QR code right here above my head, download the Underdog Fantasy app, and use our promo code PODSWRAP to start playing today.
Let's do it again tomorrow. Now, some of you probably won't join us on the radio. We understand until the Padres game is over. But the second that damn game ends and the Padres sweep the Mets behind Yu Darvish going 8 innings of 2-hit, 1 unearned run baseball.
Correct.
In an 11-1 win. Although if they win 11-1, he probably doesn't go 8 innings. But whatever. After they sweep the Mets, join us. We'll hear from Mike Schilt. We'll react to the win. And then we'll cover every angle with the trade deadline at that point inside of 24 hours. So join us tomorrow on San Diego Sports 760 and John and Jim. I'm assuming, Jim, I'm assuming we're doing a wrap-up show tomorrow night because it's inside of 24 hours of the deadline. Maybe that's contingent on Preller doing something.
How about this? If Preller makes a move, there will be a wrap-up show tomorrow night. Otherwise, the wrap-up show will be John and Jim tomorrow after the game. Thursday,
then there'll be a wrap-up show Thursday night.
Thursday night, we will do a wrap-up show recapping the trade deadline at 9:30.
Here's the other deal, and I'm with you on that. If Preller makes a move in the next 6 minutes, there will be a wrap-up show.
And if he does it in the next 7, then we're not.
That's exactly right. But if it's a big deal in the next 7, there will be a wrap-up show.
He's got 7 minutes, guys.
He's got 7 minutes. He's got till about, let's just say 11 p.m. Pacific. He's got until 11 p.m.
12 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm saying he doesn't have beyond that. He's got the next handful of minutes.
Okay.
And everyone stay safe, whether you're watching in Hawaii or wherever you are, or in Southern California. I think it's a watch, thankfully, in California and in the West, but in Hawaii, it's more significant.
It's actually turned into a warning up
safe.
It's turned into a warning up north.
Oh, really? In Northern California?
Yeah.
Okay. I read the advisory here in, for example, San Diego County, where I think they said maybe like we're talking about like I don't even know. It like seemed
40.
like the warnings that are at the UT were thankfully, it seemed like it was a watch that people should be cautious, stay away from the beaches, for example, overnight. But by and large, everyone should be safe and sound if you're able to do that. But yes, be smart, be safe if you're out there here this evening. All right. If AJ Preller's doing something in the next 7 or 8 minutes, we'll be back with you. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. on John and Jim. And then potentially tomorrow night as well on the wrap-up show. So subscribe to this channel. 14 subscribers from 8,900. Please subscribe. Support this channel. Thank you for liking this video. Make sure to tell other people about this as well, as we'll be doing the wrap-up show in season, out of season for you, as we always have. Support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, our friends over at Humboldt Casino, SeatGeek, and Underdog Fantasy as well. Padres have won 4 straight. They win tonight 7-1 over the Mets. And for Jim, I'm John. This has been the wrap-up show. We'll see you guys tomorrow or in 7 minutes. Peace.
Peace.